sure that they are changing my voice. In John chapter 16, verses 8 through 10, we see a very important discussion, a very important series of statements that is made by Christ, where he says that the world is wrong about three things. Okay, about sin, about righteousness, and about judgment. About sin because people don't really believe, right? Their actions aren't in the divine order. Write this down, right? The explanation of the true vine. The explanation said you have to remain in me, not remain in some kind of psychological construct, but you must scramble to do what is actually God's work. Every church wants you to be confused about that, every government, because they don't want to give up power, because they know that without me, what works can be done? Nothing. They don't have a valid leader. They don't have a valid moral path. Okay, so they're wrong about sin because it's a sin to cheat me out of my right to lead. And faith alone does not save you. It says in James, right? Faith without works, the works of God, obeying the commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not cheat. Thou shalt not cheat me out of my right to lead. Okay? Thou shalt not be part of the spirit that killed the righteous by playing stupid about who's supposed to be in charge. I am God's representative. I am the Christos, the anointed one, the King of Kings. Proverbs 16:10 through 12 makes that clear. The divine verdict is with me. The throne is established in righteousness. Said, I'm going to the Father where you can see me no longer. Now, for all of you people who think that you pray to Jesus and you see Jesus and so on and so forth, all that is part of the devil's game. I am Christ. The soul in me, I'm in God's Spirit, and where God's Spirit overlaps with my soul is the projection of the image of God. We are not all in God's image. Man was made as an individual in God's image. The image of the rebel is the image you are all in now. And I can easily overkill that, but I want to keep this short. So it's sin, righteousness, and judgment, right? Righteousness because I'm going to the Father. Judgment because the prince of the world is condemned. The leaders of the world, the prince of the world stands for the kings of the world. We see it in the dragon himself, in the description in Revelation, where you see the figurative speech where the various components of the dragon stand for kings. We see it in the beast, where the description of the beast and the various components stand for kings. The prostitute stands for the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. Babylon, especially where Babylon and Israel and Jerusalem of this world overlap, especially where you see the key points like the Vatican, like popular preachers, like the presidents and leaders and false idols of this world. Those are key points of references, key idols, false idols in Babylon's system. So you see sin, righteousness, and justice. Okay, why was this said if the vast majority of people aren't wrong about this? Because they are. The only time you see people telling the truth about this is either it's me or some people behind the scenes somewhere in some government group saying he's right about this, but they refuse to do what Matthew 10 commanded them to do, to declare the glory of God openly. Say, what is whispered in your ear, declare from the roofs, declare from the rooftops, declare it openly, which is by your actions first and foremost, which is obeying God through me. It is that simple. We see in Proverbs, which is, again, the purpose and theme of it. Okay, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, right? It's for instruction, for commands. If you love me, obey my commands. I believe that's John 14, verse 15. For giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. for understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools Okay, so after Proverbs explains this, it goes on to say exhortations to embrace wisdom, warnings against the invitation of sinful men, right? So stop listening to the world in regards to cheating me out of my right to lead. So we get to verse 8. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction. Do not forsake your mother's teaching. They are a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinful men entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for innocent blood, let's ambush some harmless soul, let's swallow them alive like the grave, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We get all sorts of valuable things and fill our houses with plunder. Cast lots with us, we will all share the loot. Remember, the loot, the booty, right? The pirate's booty, right? They rape and pillage, right? The females is part of it. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths, right? Do not follow them, their paths. Do not go with them. Do not follow them. Do not lead them. For their feet rush into evil. They are swift to shed blood by their complicity, if for nothing else, including silent complicity. How useless to spread a net where every bird can see it. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush only themselves. Such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the life of those who get it. So what are they doing? It's like splitting the Red Sea, right? The Egyptian army made a mistake, and they were their own worst enemy. And they were swallowed by the ocean, by the waters, figuratively. Righteousness caught up to them and destroyed them. And so it is right now with the world, right? They're divided. There's various gangs, corporate factions, nations. The households are divided. Husbands are the worst enemy of their wives, and vice versa, because they're foolish builders who are building on ill-gotten gains. It says, such are the paths of those who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the life of those who get it. All who cheat me are going after ill-gotten gains. They're not remaining in the true vine. I am the gate. The throne is established through justice. A lot of people say something stupid like, they say, well, you're not Jesus. I actually am Christ. Because it says right there in the Bible, and who's right, Christ in the Bible at the end of the Bible, or you? It says, I am the root and offspring of David. And the bright morning star, which we see in Psalm 19, is the sun. And it's the symbol of the champion, okay? And the bridegroom. I am the Christos, the anointed one. I am the one who's in the generational spirit of God's representative, the King of Kings. Okay? There wasn't this dramatic expression for a long time, and then boom, here I am. I've returned as the top martial artist ever possible, and I've come like a thief in the night, in that you people are walking in darkness, and you don't understand, and I'm actually against you. And to the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. So your souls are taken away. Any riches you would have had are taken from you because you did not obey God through me. You did not obey the commandments. And we see in the next section, in Wisdom's Rebuke, we see that, it's a very important section, but I'm almost out of time here. So let's just shoot down to, they talk about the disaster is going to strike you. Calamity overtakes you like a storm. Disaster sweeps you away like a whirlwind. Distress and trouble overwhelm you. It says, okay, verse 29, since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, since they would not accept my advice and spurned my rebuke, you didn't listen to my rebuke and obey God through me, they will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes. Okay, that's the ill-gotten gains, their schemes, their ways, their paths that they're not supposed to set foot on. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease, without fear of harm. So you have to see that I'm reliable, that you can trust me. Right? Remember, simple in Proverbs denotes a person who's gullible, without moral direction, inclined to evil. Okay, fool denotes someone who's morally deficient. So if you're not obeying God through me, you don't have that moral direction. You're relying on yourself. Are you the top martial artist ever? No, God set me apart for that purpose, like he set apart the sun to give light. I'll leave it there.